Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it to any and everyone that you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. The Boston Celtics crushed the New York Knicks last night, and they got whatever they wanted on offense, hunted matchups. So let's get into the film. All right, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take a shoot. Man, I'm sorry to start off this way, man, but this was all night, man. This was all night, and it was Carvany Towns, it was Jalen Brunson, it was Precious Achua. Tatum had two big plays against Precious Achua, but the Celtics had a lot of success with a lot of different actions in this game. They went to ram action a lot, they went to the side pick and rolls, and then the high ball screen pick and rolls. But the most prevalent thing, of course, was the high pick and rolls, where Tatum was right here at the logo or like close to it, and then Cornette would come set the screen. But then they also went to Spain a lot of times to get whatever they wanted. So here we got a ball reversal to the other side, and Luke Cornette does a phenomenal job of getting into these screens so quickly, and he is a phenomenal screen setter in the sense that he does well with angles. Like, he knows what angles to get Tatum going downhill. He knows what angles to set the screen to really get somebody to switch or to get the primary defender off of Jason Tatum. So here he does a nice job setting the screen, and the fact that he gets into this so quick means that Carvany Towns is lagging behind, because I believe he was focused on just Jaylen Brown on Achua. So if he drove, Carvany Towns can help. This is too much space already. So now when this screen is set, Carvany Towns feels like he has to run up, right? And Carvany Towns running to Jason Tatum, and Jason Tatum going downhill at Carvany Towns while he's running up is not a good recipe for the New York Knicks. Tatum sees the angle that Carvany Towns is trying to cut off as he runs up. He's trying to go this way. So what does Tatum do? He in and out dribble and posts Precious Achua. And with Carvany Towns being in that drop coverage, we're going to just shine the light on him right there as we speak. It does two things, right? So the Celtics automatically know that the Knicks don't want to switch Carvany Towns onto Jason Tatum. So he's never going to be up to the level of the screen unless they blitz or they're trapping Tatum. So that means that Tatum is going to get practice pull-up threes all game. Another thing that does is that if Luke Cornette changes the angle of the pick and roll at the last second, Carvany Towns is going to be on the opposite side of where he's supposed to be. So now, not only does he have to check Jason Tatum in space and try to combat the pull-up three and try to combat his drive, and I'm glad Tatum drove on the first offensive score of the game, because now that sets up Carvany Towns in his mind that, hey, I gotta guard the drive. Now Tatum makes 7 pull-up threes, right? Now Carvany Towns has to not only guard this, but Carl has to come over and then guard Jason Tatum. So he's not just coming up right here like he's already in this position to try to guard this. He has to come over to Jason Tatum, right? So you see how Cornette gets onto this side of Mikal Bridges, and then he swirls over, changes the angle of the screen. So now you see where Carvany Towns is at. He's still on this side, right? I don't know what he's doing, but now he has to come over here to help onto Jason Tatum, and of course he's not going to be up to the level. So Tatum gets a practice pull-up three. And another way that you can get mismatches on the offensive side is by your matchups on the defensive side. So if you've been on the channel, you've seen me say that, hey, when a bigger guy is switched onto a smaller guy, right, and the smaller guy shoots a deep three, or they shoot a three and they miss, right, that means that if the big contests that means that big and that point guard are most likely going to be the first ones back on defense, which means an easy post up for that taller guy. Jaylen Brown was our defender on Jalen Brunson, so it wasn't a mismatch on this side, but him being the matchup on Jalen Brunson, as Jalen Brunson is going to shoot, he's going to drive, Jaylen Brown is going to be with him, so they're probably going to be parallel to each other a lot when the Celtics go down the court. This is what happens here. And then as Jaylen Brown's running up the court and he realizes this, you see he's saying to everybody, hey, let me get this side, everybody stay over there. This creates the Knicks bringing Precious Achua over and a pass to Al Horford for the three. All right, so the Celtics quickly get into a high pick and roll. We got Luke Cornette setting the screen. Tatum just taking his time, trying to put Mikal Bridges in jail. He comes off it, but watch this Gortat screen by Luke Cornette. The Gortat screen is usually used against drop coverage, so it's when you set the screen and the ball handler has an advantage or like has a step on his man because he's lagging behind the screen, and the center, the person who just set the screen, goes and sets another screen on the drop man. So the ball handler who already has a step on his man can just easily get a lane to go to the basket. It's super similar to a seal. If you remember when Daniel Tice was here, he was the king of those seal screens. But then, as he started to do it more, they start calling it. But right there, the screen or just getting in the way of Karl-Anthony Towns as Jason Tatum has a step on Mikal Bridges allows for him to get an open lane for a layup. All right, sure, we got angle pick and roll between Derek White and Jaylen Brown. And of course, you know that the Knicks don't want to switch Jaylen Brunson onto Jaylen Brown. So this is just going to be a cat and mouse game, right? So Jaylen Brown's going to set this first screen. Also, this is where the Celtics get the angle pick and roll / high ball screen action. So in the event that this does not amount to anything, right? Luke Kornet is set up as soon as they pass it to Jason Tatum right here. He's coming out and he's screening. Now that allows Jason Tatum to get downhill and to shoot up these pull-up threes because it just happens so quickly. Karl Towns is not somebody that's quick enough to combat that. So in the event that the angle pick and roll does not work, they always have that option. They also have the blind pick option. If Mikal Bridges sees that the pass coming, he denies this. The pass can be right here to Luke Kornet, and then it will be a dribble handoff under the denying defender. But that's going to be for future use. On this play, the angle pick and roll works because, of course, the Knicks don't want to switch Jaylen Brunson onto Jaylen Brown. So he's just trying to go under. I don't know why he's going under. I mean, I know why he's going under because he just wants to try to stay on Derek White, but going under is probably not the best thing to do on Derek White, and he ends up getting a three. And this is why we highlighted it on the last play. They run the same exact thing. This time, they just switch off, right? They was like, okay, that was too much to handle. But Jaylen Brunson does a nice job fronting the post there. So the Celtics go away from it. But as I said on the last play, they always have this high ball screen action always set up just in case that doesn't work. So you see Cater, he's calling for the blind pick action. He's already wide open. He's calling for the ball. But they elect to get the ball to Jason Tatum. I would probably elect to get the ball to Jason Tatum too. But he's at half court. So Mikal tries to just go under because he's at half court. Of course, Tatum's not going to shoot right there. So I guess that's smart. But Cater does a nice job of, I was going to say moving. I mean, goddamn. That brother is not set, but 80 to 85% of NBA screens are legal. They just can't be egregious, and you just can't kill a man while you're moving, right? So he doesn't kill Mikal Bridges, but this is also Mikal's fault because, listen, you can't go under the screen on Jason Tatum. I don't care where he is. This is in his range, especially against the New York Knicks. He is shooting like 50% against them from 3 this season. He was 7 for 14. He was like 6 for 9 in the first game. You should know that you can't do this, and this is just way too much space for Jason Tatum, and he knocked down a 3. And this is legit hunted for matchup. So Mikal Bridges just scored, right? Watch Jaylen Brown's face. He looks down and sees somebody down there. So he's like, yeah, let me get the ball. We're going to go down there quick. He saw Jaylen Brunson as the last man back. Tillman does a nice job as Pressure True is running to Jaylen Brown. Tillman does a nice job just getting away at that. And then we immediately get into a post-up with 19 seconds left on the clock. Jaylen Brown saw who was down there. He got the ball, got it inbounded, ran straight down into Jaylen Brunson, and he scores in the post. All right, so this isn't like a hunted play, but this is just a phenomenal play call. And this was the first time I've seen the Celtics run this season. So this play is called 77 axis. So 77 can be used in transition. It can be used in semi-transition, but it's when somebody is walking down the court and 2 on-ball screens are set for them. So you see Payton Pritchard right here. He's one. Luke Kornet is the second one. So if you see 2 ball screens set for somebody as they're walking down the court, that's 77 action. Now the exit part of this is just a screen set along the baseline for somebody to go to the corner. So that is what Kata does right here. And then Payton Pritchard is able to go to the corner and get this shot. Now, what the Celtics do with this, right? You see as they start to play with the 2 ball screens, you see Payton Pritchard is gonna act like he's gonna go set the stagger action for Sam Hauser. So if you've seen the Celtics, they will have a guy here, he sets one screen, and a guy here, he sets the same screen, and then Sam Hauser will come out here, or he'll either twirl it and do something off of that. So as you see Payton Pritchard run over there, it looks like he's going to set a screen, and Cam Payne starts to set up defensively like Payton Pritchard's going to set a screen on him. But Josh Hart, this play is because Josh Hart just did not pay any attention to Payton Pritchard after he slipped that screen. He just loses Payton Pritchard, finally realizes what's happening, but it's too late. Kata sets a screen and needs a 3. And this was quite easy for Jason Tatum. This play was a culmination of all the things that the Celtics done in this game before this play and in the first game against the New York Knicks. The Knicks know that, the Celtics are hunting Carl Towns. So Tatum actually sets this up well. He does that hang dribble there as he's going to go this way. Achua takes one wrong step. That is all that happens. Achua takes one wrong step right there. So he puts his foot up like he's about to go foul Jason Tatum because of the hang dribble, right? Tatum rejects the screen, and that's all he needs. He plays angles so well. He knows that Achua is off balance, and he's running after him going downhill. So what does Tatum do? Snatch back, and that, oh, Lord. Hold on, brother. Hold on, cuz. We gotta make sure you're good, though. Nah, he ain't good. Tatum hits a 3. And this is more of what we talked about earlier. When the Celtics go to this high ball screen action, like, it just creates so much room that Karl-Anthony Towns has to guard. And he is very cautious of Tatum driving past him, but he's also never going to be up to the level of the screen, so he can effectively like get a real contest on a Tatum pull-up three. So again, after the screen, Tatum gets another practice pull-up three. All right, so when Tatum went off the floor, this started the Spain PNR series. Of course, the Celtics run this pretty often. The Spain PNR is a pick and roll in which a back screen is set on a ball screener's man. So Cornet is the ball screener, right? And Payton Pritchard is going to set a back screen on Precious Achiuwa. Now, the Celtics got whatever they want out of this. The Knicks had so many different coverages for this, but it's just nothing that they could ultimately do. So this play gets them mismatches too. That's one mismatch here, right? He already has a mismatch on Precious Achiuwa. Now, when Payton sets the back screen, that means that Jalen Brunson has to come over here. So now that's going to be two mismatches, but the big mismatch happened before the screens even started. So the Celtics even calling this play, it brings the best rim protector away from the rim. So when the Celtics call this, the center is not in the paint. So now they're creating a mismatch in the paint where, okay, somebody other than the center is going to have to be the rim protector on this play. So as Achiuwa is so focused on trying to get over the screen, not letting Jalen Brunson guard Jalen Brown, we have a numerical advantage with Cornet rolling. You got Al Horford in the corner, but Luke Cornet is 7'2". Josh Hart is what, 6'3", 6'4", easy bucket. All right, so let's go to Spain again. Got this by the Keita, and Derek White at some point is gonna come up and try to set that back screen on his man, which is Precious Achiuwa. But Precious Achiuwa is already switched on Jason Tatum, but he still sets the back screen. And what does that mean? He is not the rim protector anymore, and he's not checking Keita. So now we get the mismatch up top, right? But this is the mismatch that matters on this play, and you will see why later. So we got Tatum on Precious Achiuwa that has served to be effective. They set the screen to get Mikal Bridges on him. Don't know why they did that, but Tatum can still score on Mikal Bridges. He discards him, but remember that mismatch they got with Keita and Jalen Brunson? Now Jalen Brunson has to rebound with Neemias Queta right there. Impossible. Neemias Queta gets a foul. All right, so the Celtics go to Horns lift pin to get the mismatch for Tatum on Jalen Brunson. So they're in the Horns alignment. They're just free throw line extended. Jason Tatum is gonna set this ball screen for Derek White so he can get Jalen. That is ugly. Hold on. That is ugly. He's gonna set this ball screen for that's also ugly. He's gonna set this ball screen. It's okay. So he sets that ball screen right, and then he gets the switch on Jalen Brunson. Then he's gonna lift up around the logo so he can get the ball, and then they can get to a high pick and roll. So again, Luke Cornet changed the angle of the pick and roll does wonders for us, right? So he runs up on this side. Then as Tatum does a little move right there, angle switch. Now Karl-Anthony Towns has to come over and he has to come up. Now he has to defend, right? So as he's coming over to this side, Jason Tatum knows that. He goes to the other side. Karl-Anthony Towns reach. That is not a recipe for success. He goes right around him and he dunks it. All right, so here is the start of the Celtics going to their Rams series. So, of course, a Ram screen is an off-ball screen set for somebody to go set a ball screen. So, it's going to be the off-ball screen setter. He sets the screen there for Neemias Queta, and he's going to come over and set this on-ball screen for Jason Tatum. And Joe Mazzulla and the Celtics have talked about, like, this year, last year, that their guards are such willing screeners, and it does so much for their offense. Watch what Derek White does to Karl-Anthony Towns. He booms Karl-Anthony Towns. And then that means that Queta is running into a screen freely, right? Now, again, Karl-Anthony Towns he can't see what's happening right now. As soon as he sees Tatum is already gone, so now he has to feel like he has to rush over there. Tatum knows that with this amount of space, Karl would think that a pull-up three is coming. So as you watch Tatum, he's gonna hesitate right there. That's all he needs. That hesitation to pull up three, Karl-Anthony Towns is gonna sell out. He missteps. You see he has to do a big jump step, whatever that is, and he gets another dunk. All right, so the Celtics go to Ram action again. You got Derek White setting the off-ball screen for Queta. Queta does a nice job of juking out Karl-Anthony Towns a little bit. He thinks that he's going to go to this side. He ends up going to this side, so that catches Karl-Anthony Towns off guard, and he's already behind to start this. Then he gets screened. Then he assumes that Queta is going to set the screen on this side, so that's where he goes. Queta actually sets the screen on this side of Mikal Bridges. Watch Karl-Anthony Towns. You see he's already on this side, so he's already in the wrong. Queta sets the screen on that side, which means, again, Karl-Anthony Towns has to go over and then guard Jason Tatum. That's not a recipe for success. He gets over there, but then Jason Tatum gets past him. That's another mismatch that we didn't even talk about. So now Karl-Anthony Towns, who isn't the greatest rim protector, but he's still a center. He's still an active big in the paint sometimes. But after Derek White sets this on-ball screen, he's going to just go to the dunker spot. Derek White just goes right to the dunker spot. So now Jalen Brunson, once Tatum gets past Karl-Anthony Towns, the guy protecting the rim for the Knicks is Jalen Brunson. So when that happens, Tatum could have just went up, but Jalen Brunson steps all the way up off of Derek White, the pass, the drop down, and a layup. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So just go right back to Ram action. Kata comes out on this side, but then he's gonna twirl over here and try to set the screen. Karl Towns actually does a nice job of getting over there in time, but again, it's just so tough to come over and then guard Jason Tatum as he's going downhill. And this time, instead of Derek White being in the dunker spot, which he was right here, he is now on the wing, and Jalen Brunson decides to help, which, I mean, I guess he doesn't have a choice, or he's gonna let Jason Tatum drive right past Karl Towns, and Derek White's wide open for the 3. And this is just super simple stuff, man. When they don't want to switch, they don't come up to the level of the screen. It's like he's baiting Jalen Brunson to come out on him, and Brunson's like, nah, I'm just gonna stay back here. And Tatum ends up shooting. Now, I know these are deep threes that Tatum is hitting, but when you play an entire NBA game with no pressure on you, the Knicks did not pressure Jason Tatum one time. There is no, like, he's walking into threes, and when he's not walking into threes, he's walking to the paint past Karl Towns. I know these shots are deep, and if you had a choice for Tatum to shoot threes or go to the basket, you would rather him shoot these 28-foot threes, but he's playing in a practice gym because they don't want to switch. Like, look, Jaylen Brown is on this screen for about, what, 2.5, 3 seconds. Jalen Brunson sits here the entire time. He doesn't want to go up to Jason Tatum. So he's playing free, and he already has, what, 30 points to this point, so he's already hot. He did not get any pressure. He played in a practice gym all night, and that's the type of shots he's gonna hit. All right, so the Celtics go back to Spain with Jason Tatum off the floor, but at some point in this play, somebody on the Knicks bench, or Tom Thibodeau, they yelled out stack. Stack is another name for Spain. So the Knicks talked about this, and now they have a coverage for it. So as you'll see, they start to just defend it how they're going to defend it. Then somebody calls it off, which you'll see by President Chua. He hears it and he goes right back, right? He's just like, okay, let them do this. So they actually play it correctly. So Achua goes back. Pritchard is the ball handler. This is too much space. He should have just shot this. But Jalen Brunson comes up. But instead of the back screener on this play, because the Knicks pulled Achua back into the paint, instead of Jaylen Brown going up to a 3-point line, he realized that he's just wide open. So he stays here, good recognition by Peyton Pritchard, puts the ball. And now we have a numerical advantage in this general area, right? We have a 3-on-2 with Cornette rolling. Now, when Cornette rolls, Achua can't guard him. Josh Hart has to be slightly to the corner on now Horford because he's a good shooter. Too late layup. And this is just super intentional stuff by the Boston Celtics. The Knicks put Jalen Brunson on Sam Hauser. So what does he do? He screens for Derek White. Jalen Brunson pushes him into it like he wants to be hunted. I guess he didn't know this was coming. But then here comes Jason Tatum. He's going to set the screen on Jalen Brunson, get the switch right there. They got it. He gets the ball, gets to his spot, and he scores. But that is a video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone as you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nick. Peace.